We get a reaction to that ruling. Right2Know National Communication Coordinator Freddy Mathekga joins us for reaction on this. So good evening to you and thank you so much for coming into studio. I don't know, are we still saying Happy New Year? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you so much for joining us. Your reaction to this ruling, surprised, or is this a step in the right direction?
We are also disappointed because for the ruling to say it's not an urgent matter, it's really appalling because of when you go to the ground, as you know that we work in grassroots areas, right? It is typical of us to see the AfriForum to actually respond negatively to the application that the Information Regulator has done. That is because their children have received their results today from the IEB, but the DBE ones, today you know what they're doing, they're not sleeping. They're gathering in groups to see who has passed and who hasn't. And I want to paint a picture to South Africans today that imagine being a parent who opens the door to a room who a child is hanging by the roof because they didn't see their name on the newspaper, with a note that says, I didn't want to face them because of what they would think of me. But let us not paint a blind eye to the fact that for years, the results that we'd be getting on the newspapers were being inaccurate. Some learners that have passed, they're not in the newspaper. Once they see that their names are not in the newspaper, mistakenly so, that causes an alarming effect because these kids will face a very ridiculous effect, an embarrassing effect to the society that has been looking at them, that has been cheering them to pass. And exams can go anyway, you know. You can prepare as much as you want, but exams will go anyway. Another thing I want to say that is very disappointed is the comment that was made by the South African Editorial Forum that they don't make any profit in all of this. That is so misleading because in an ordinary day, Sowetan would not sell like it will sell tomorrow. That's a fact because children will be out in the street wanting to see their names on the newspapers. Aunties, uncles, enemies, friends would want to see their people on the newspaper. And when they see those people, they paint a picture towards the lives of those people. They'll start having a deformation of character. And most of all, the privacy of those learners is not respected in any way.
There's a lot that you've said. I mean, you paint a picture already of a parent walking into a room and finding their child hanging. I mean, how extensive has that been over the years where we've seen learners actually taking their lives as a result of what is on that newspaper when it's published? We see it year in, year out. And when the presiding officer rules that this matter is not of urgency, do you want to tell that to the parents on the ground? You know, what Judge Tolmay also did is that she chose not to look at the merits of the matter, right? It didn't look at the issue of POPIA. I mean, what do you make of that?
I mean, like, POPIA is a branch of the Constitution, right? And the Constitution says that every law that has been in our country must be in the confines of the law and within the principles and purport of the Constitution. But when the POPIA Act is disregarded like this, then it gives us a certain analogy of the respect of our law. Remember that the human rights that we're enjoying today are there to take us away from oppression. Now, I want us to also look at the oppressive nature of matriculants seeing their names on the newspaper. Is it helping us in this day and age? Because the representative from South African Editorial Forum has said to us that even when he went to school, he would see his name on the newspaper. Today we're living in a fast-paced society. We're living in a society where anything can happen anytime. It's not those days when he was still in school. And then we need to look in those social engineering, social evolution, and try to change towards those social engineering matters.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you speak to a lot of people that comment, and this is now socially around this issue of the publication of matric results, there is a little bit of nostalgia for a lot of South Africans that this is how things have been done for the longest time in the country. That's where we go for our matric results. It's almost a bit of a South African tradition, if you will. And you talk about, well, these are not the same times. Talk about the dangers of what makes certainly 2025 different to 2005.
So today we have social media that have advanced that we can shoot content now and someone from far away from us would see that content, right? social cultures has changed. We know that, for instance, social cultures in Tembisa in our days would not be the same in social cultures in Soweto. But today, we have same social cultures that have collided through the power of what? Social media. So now, if kids are seeing that this one has failed in this area, it's no longer just an embarrassment that is only within the confines of a classroom, but it's embarrassment that is on a social platform, on an internet that's going to have a digital footprint for years and years and years. And for a child to go through that, well, one thing you must understand that is that with our people, we don't have the support to take our children to counseling. Today, the kids that have got their results from the IEB education, they're going to have resources to take their kids to therapy, to take their kids to nursery help so that they can cope to try again. But with us, we have an analogy of taking matric as a once-off thing, that there's nothing, if you failed here, you have failed, my child. And there is hope after that. But the resources to get the information to those kids, it's costly to the government itself because of kids don't understand what they're going to do if they find themselves not being in that newspaper. And sometimes could be falsified because it is not accurate. What's on that paper is not accurate. Then if it's not accurate, then why do we still follow the culture?
Your message to the Department of Basic Education, because just moments ago, perhaps just under an hour or so ago, no, over an hour ago, my colleague Xoli Mgambi, in conversation with the Minister of Basic Education, saying, well, we're going ahead, we're publishing the results.
I would say to the Department of Education, first of all, we want to know who's benefiting from all of this. Besides the newspapers, besides the Department of Education by pushing the numbers, because we are numbers as the people on the ground. Apart from the two parties and apart from Umalusi as well, who's benefiting? May the person who's dealing with the statistics of the learners that have passed and the learners that have failed come forward. We want to know who's that person, because that person, if this ruling would have ruled otherwise, this person was not going to gain. So now we want to know who is benefiting in all of this.
Before I let you go, the learners, as they sit and ready themselves for these matric results to come out, obviously you're not in support of this ruling by the court in Pretoria today, that the matter simply isn't urgent. The Department of Education saying they're going ahead with the publishing. What is the right of the learner here that is being violated?
The right of the learner is the right to privacy, because there has been speculations that they need to have an explicit consent that it's going to say, okay, we are going ahead to publish your results and all of that. Okay, that calls for other legal implications, because number one, the people, I want to paint another picture, if you allow me. Some of these children that got to matric, they don't even have quality time with their parents, because their parents leave home at 5 in the morning, going to work, not even sure that they will even go to school. And then now you want them to now take consents to the parents that they don't even see during the week. It's impossible. And those consent, the meritocracy of those consent is not verified. You know what I mean? So if we're going to follow that route, it's fine. It's going to be disaster on its own. But on another hand, the right to privacy of a child has to be taken. I mean, like the Constitution even says, the right of a child is absolute. You can't come against the right of a child. Everything must stop when you're speaking about the child. But now, the privacy that safeguards them from themselves, by killing themselves, by the way, when I mean from themselves, the privacy that they have, is it not supposed to be in the confines of dignity? I think that's where we need to draw the line and say, learners have to be treated with the dignity they deserve. And first and foremost, we can start with privacy.
Yeah. Is there a space for us to see organizations like the IR and certainly even Right2Know pursue the matter further for the sake of matriculants?
I believe there is, because COSAS has made their statement that they don't want the results of the learners to be published. They're standing against that because organizations like COSAS like ourselves, we are in the same arena. We see these things, we feel them, you know. But people who are up there, they don't even see. For us, it's just numbers. So other organizations, I believe other organizations are going to come and they're going to make their voices heard around this. I'm just saying kudos to the IR for starting the conversation and pushing it forward. And I believe as Right2Know, we are there to support.
All right, Freddy, we really do appreciate your time. Freddy Mathekga is, of course, Right2Know's National Communication Coordinator, speaking to us this evening. We take a short break, though. You're still watching Newsfeed PM, the late edition. We're back in a